Welcome, everyone, to season 12, episode 16. Yeah.
Yay!
And there was much rejoicing.
Yes.
Yay. I love it how you said you were going to be later than Ian and you show up first.
Yeah, the traffic here, you know how it is. I don't have to explain to you.
You don't have to explain. You don't explain nothing. Nothing at all. How's things going down in Charlotte? Have you been getting these crazy storms down there?
We have been starting to get them. Like, we had them last weekend, and then they were supposed to hit super hard all weekend, and they disappeared, and they came at random times. It's like, what the fuck? Like,
same.
Yeah. So like
all day long, it's supposed to. Yeah, like we planned our whole week around storms coming, and like they kept on changing the forecast every 5 minutes. I'm like, Are they gonna hit? Are they not? What's going on?
They're gonna do the same thing for next weekend. Like at first, it's gonna hit all weekend. Now, who knows? But yeah,
whatever.
That's the weather.
That's the weather. Yeah,
we already starting to get the start of No Kings. What's the word I'm looking for? No, protest. Yes, the No Kings Day is on Saturday.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
I never heard of it before either, but I guess it's a thing. I'm gonna Google it real quick. But it's
no
this
king
Saturday
or no king.
No Kings Day. Here we go.
I have no idea.
It's on June 14th. It's a nationwide day of defiance to reject Trump's tyranny and ruin his birthday. Yeah, and ruin his birthday celebration.
Okay.
So like today started it. It's been huge in LA because all the LA stuff going on. They started it early, and then Charlotte picked it up today. There was issues with traffic and stuff because there are people all over the overpasses with signs saying "honk if you support the Constitution," and "honk if you support No Kings." So
no king, la 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 la.
There's supposed to be like almost 2,000 different protests on Saturday alone.
That's crazy.
Throughout the entire nation. Most of it's wraps around the country.
What do we got going on? I think we had nothing this weekend.
You're getting thunderstorms Saturday.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. We just talked about weather.
Yeah. I think maybe that was the administration putting out storms so people wouldn't go protest.
Maybe.
That's why they got rid of the National Weather Service, so they could then make up fake weather.
We do have something this weekend. Hold on.
If he comes back in costume, I'm hanging up.
No, he's getting marching orders.
Oh, he's looking at the calendar. That's smart.
I remember what it is now, and it's a secret, and I can't say anything on here because someone that listens to our podcast might know about it. So anyway.
Oh.
Ooh, I love secrets.
Secrets.
Put it in chat.
I'll put it in private chat. Anyway, I knew there's something going on.
Mine, you are precious in my sight. Oh.
Anyway, we'll talk about it next week. Sorry for everybody listening to chat. Secrets, yay! So what?
He's a dark friend, so
I am.
And I did take the oath a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
What oath did I take?
What oath? Anyway, personal life. Let's see. This weekend, my son finished first grade, so he's out of school for the summer. So, in celebration, I just me and him, just dad and son, left the other two kids with mom, and we went to Busch Gardens theme park Saturday morning. We got to ride the new Big Bad Wolf, which is cool.
There's a
very jealous. Yeah,
there's a new one.
I'm gonna kill my brother because he didn't tell me anything about it.
It's not even they're not even really advertising it that much, and it was one of those things where I
it's for all the OG people. We know about it.
It's back. It's back where Drakenfire used to be, all the way back behind the Fest House, and I was I wonder where they're gonna put it because for Bolton's where the Big Bad Wolf used to be, and I walked back there, and there is no signage for it or anything up yet. They have signs for the roller coaster, so there's no signage for it yet. I was like, is it even open? And Went back there. There's no line at all. We walked right on.
It's the locals know about it and get in there and
Yep,
ride it.
y'all went on the test run.
Yeah, pretty much. That was
I
fun.
told you, or maybe I haven't told you the story of when the drop tower was brought to Busch Gardens. So I have a friend, I will not name his name because in the event that somebody listens, it's important at Busch, who said that first off, the instructions came in Japanese and they did not get them translated.
Is that why they didn't build it?
And somehow there were extra parts when there weren't supposed
Ooh.
That's fun.
I put together an engine like that before. Where did this bolt go? Yeah.
Yeah. I think I was with you. We took apart your Mustang or Tempo or something like that. I'm trying to
Yeah,
figure
no,
out-
it
we had
was the
extra parts.
Mustang.
It was a Mustang. We had extra parts. We're like,
Could not figure out where it went.
That's why it's always broken.
Anyways, yeah. So they have. I mean, so Dragonfire that used to be the roller coaster there years and years ago. They actually got sued multiple times over that roller coaster.
Oh yeah,
that was riggedy.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was just they had that one turn that was a really bad design, and
people
like
get
all the locals knew like you had to lean your head to the right, like right at this right
embrace
time.
your feet and push back.
Embrace your feet and push back, and you'd be fine. It's just one spot. But if you weren't from there and you didn't know the secret, you got wrecked every single time. like bad.
Every time I rode it, I'd hear people go,
The Loch Ness used to do that.
Yeah, Loch Ness. Well, they've redone their Loch Ness a bunch of times.
It's pretty smooth right now.
Yeah.
I know it's not a ride anymore. It's like it's a casual stroll now. It used to be like, oh, we're getting on the Loch Ness. And I was like, oh, let's go ride the Loch Ness.
Yeah. But in the dark place, they actually have the stuff lit up in there now, and they've got a screen in there, and they brought all that back.
My brother fixed it.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Instead of just being in darkness and looping around a few times, you actually see stuff in there.
Real fast, Chris, can you say "I am your father"?
I am your father.
Perfect.
Sorry, I'm trying to finish my therapy.
It's so good.
I need one of those right about now.
Yeah, the muscle.
Dude, these things are the best thing on Amazon for like $50.
Yeah,
and you can use your FSA card for it if you have one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It comes with like 12 different attachments.
I got one of those for Ian's mom, and she just got mad at me. So,
moving on to my personal life. Speaking of why I need one of those, so the flag football team that I'm on, River plays with me. Last week, he got split open just above his eyebrow and was bleeding all over the place.
Oh wow!
And then, or that was the week before last. Last week, I was playing middle linebacker. They were throwing a pass underneath. I had my hand. I was right about to intercept it. It was going into my hands. Our safety was coming down, and he didn't see me coming around the receiver, and he hit me full speed. Dude's like 6'2", 220 pounds. I didn't even see him because I was focused on the ball. I was about to catch it, and then I was on my back. And you knew it was bad because immediately I heard everybody go, ooh, and then rush over, and they were just huddled around me, like looking. And I was like, I'm okay. But the worst part, I mean, it knocked the wind out of me a little bit, but the worst part is his knee went into my thigh, right in the middle of the muscle. And it was like, for the first day afterwards, it was like I had a second kneecap floating on my thigh. Like it was all swollen and nasty. And now the bruise is like puddling up around my knee. It's pretty fantastic.
I mean, we've both been hit by NFL players, like playing no pad
football.
So
that's nothing like getting hit by Daryl Blackstock. Yeah. That dude took me off my feet and dented me into the ground.
My brother played defensive line for private school football. And did he ever tell you a story about who he had to go against?
Long.
Yeah, Chris Long. Howie Long's
Chris
son.
Long. Yeah. And the whole game, I remember him talking, and your brother's not a small person.
No, he's not.
But he was like, I just got tossed around like a rag doll all game long.
He got pancaked every single time. Hike and then just like ran over, like over and over again. It's like, I'm good.
Yep.
We had our last day for church for the summer or for the school year. So we're entering our summer term for our high school students for Wednesday nights.
Okay.
And so we did like a big game night. And, they pulled out the big sumo wrestling outfits.
Mm.
And we had a kid. We have a kid. He's not even a kid. He's 18 now, but 6'4", like 330. And like I just walked in the door, and I'm like, oh, they look like they're having fun, kind of lingering on the outskirts. He sees me out of the corner of his eye. He goes, I want you. I'm like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, get in here, big boy. I'm like,
I've been training for longer than you've been alive, but
I was like, are you positive? He's like, oh yeah, watch what happens. I'm like, okay. So I put the suit on, which was so uncomfortable. That damn thing was way too small. And they're like, all right. They had a gong. They're like, gong. When I tell you, he got into this beautiful 3-point stance and came up with the quickness, and the boom hit me and then just stopped. And the look on my face, he was like,
uh-oh.
It was like the oh shit. It's for those who cannot see. It was the oh shit look. And I kind of looked at him and then picked him up and just boom, dropped him. He was like, best 2 out of 3, best 2 out of 3. I was like,
he's never been tossed like that his whole life.
He gets back down. He's like, I just didn't go low enough. I was like, you want me to get closer too? And he's like, huh? So I get closer. He gets super low. And then he goes and he hits me. And I like shake a little bit. And then I toss him out. And he's like, one more time. At this
3 out of 5.
At this point,
4 out of 7.
Like,
damn right.
I'm like, all right, cool, let's go. He hits me the third time, and I like push him. And then he looks, and he just starts stripping the gear off. He's like, I'm done.
He got me.
He's like, I've never hit somebody and not moved them.
Yeah.
Like, welcome
Brick
to the
wall.
real world.
Yeah. You're how old? Yeah, you'll catch up. Keep
welcome
training.
To my world. Yeah, keep working on it.
There's
like,
another similar story to like something like that, like where some like younger guy challenges an older guy to something like it was basketball. That's what it was. It was some guy was telling a story about like I guess his daughter was dating this guy that was a high school basketball player, and notices that they have a hoop at their house, and he only has a daughter, so he challenges his dad to one-on-one. His daughter's, his new girlfriend's dad. Little did he know, he was a starting player for Duke back in the day.
Yeah.
And,
still knows a thing or two because he's seen a thing or two.
Starting player for Duke, and the only reason why he didn't go NBA is because his senior year he blew out his knee. But now he's 40. He's fully recovered. He can still play ball just fine. Yeah,
that's perfect.
Yeah. So I try to take on the 40-year-old guy or whatever. Nope.
Oh, I got one last announcement.
Oh, what's that?
So I know I told you guys, but I'll share to the world. I finally figured out this dating thing. Don't know why I didn't think of it before. But I've been on a couple dates now with this girl from Brazil. She's been in the States for 2 months, knows absolutely no English. I mean, a couple of phrases, that's it. And we use like Google Translate the whole time. We just put the phone between us, and you would talk and then wait for it to translate and spit it out. But it was fantastic. She was awesome. Yeah. I don't know why I didn't think of that. These American girls, man, I haven't figured that out, but
yeah, that
was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I learned a few things, but yeah.
Anyways, fun times.
So we're excited. We're excited about that.
So Ian's learning Portuguese now. So next week we'll be doing this live in Portuguese. So for all of our all of our Portuguese listeners from Brazil and Portugal, get your translators ready.
It might take me more than a week. That's a tough one.
Get Duolingo. You can learn it real fast.
It works miracles.
Yeah, it works really well.
Yeah, it's a really good app. As much as I'm joking, I'm not joking. Apparently, it is a really good app, so it's worth a try.
I've used it before, and
we'll check it out.
Nice. String says, don't learn the language. Just don't. Anyways,
I think the greatest advantage is, like Chris, you figured it out by now, but Alan, you've known for a while. I just say whatever I'm thinking, even if it's just one of those thoughts that are part of the process of you actually putting your real thought together. It always comes out of my mouth, and those are the things that get me in trouble because I guess a lot of people don't think out loud like that. But it allows me to ramble about stuff that she doesn't really need to hear. And then I lean into the phone and say the actual part that I want to say. So she's only getting the good stuff. So it's working.
This will last about 3 to 4 months until she learns enough English.
Yeah.
That's like, goodbye.
Yeah.
Oh,
Figure out exactly how great of a guy you are.
Yeah.
she loves the beard.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Fun times.
2 weeks later, the beard's got to go.
Oh, then I'll be leaving.
Yeah. Fun times. Guys, ready to talk about Wheel of Time? We got 2 big chapters to talk about. There's a lot that happens.
Let's get started because I have something to say right offhand.
Okay.
Alan has the poorest choice of chapters to live react to sometimes. Because when I tell y'all, the last chapters were good chapters.
Good.
But
They were
had I
good.
known what was coming in these 2 chapters, I'm like, Chris, Ian, we're recording twice. We're doing live reactions twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
You'd have got way better reactions out of us.
Yeah,
I was hooting and hollering. It was.
Yeah.
I cried.
I was screaming listening to this.
I wanted the dresses green though. That was tough. I went between these 2, like either doing these 2 or the previous week, but I wanted the reaction to the dresses green.
Yeah, I can understand that because that definitely sparked a lot of conversation. So from that point, from the content point, you made a good choice. But good Lord! All right, let's get started.
So that's where we left off last time. Was the dresses? Your dress is green. In chapter 39, a visit from Verin.
Spin some scissor, right? That's what she had in there, right?
Oh, she had some
A
scissor.
little concoction. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's getting bent.
Yeah. And Egwene starts out right away is like, wait, you're Black Aja? Like, I never trusted you. And Varen's like, you're right not to. I am Black Aja.
Yeah.
Like,
that's very nice.
Well, hold on, because I think in the beginning she didn't want to believe it. So she's like, oh, you just never used the rod? So you're not
that's right.
Actually an Aes Sedai?
No.
And she's like, no, I definitely used the rod. She's like, well, then you had your oaths changed. So when did you do that? She's like,
no,
they were changed in a manner of speaking, but it's not the way you think they were. She's like, I never trusted you. She's like, you were good not to trust me. That's very smart. Very smart.
I do love though, Chris, that you called it the double agent thing. My mind didn't go that route at all. Although we could talk about it more at the end of this chapter. Now I'm wondering, like, all right, is it a double agent?
Nah.
Like, how much do we?
Nah.
Or did Verin play into the hands of the Dark Lord? Like, is this all supposed to be happening? Like, I don't know.
Jordan,
by the end of it, I was second guessing everything.
Nah.
Yeah.
I think we have closed the loop on Verin for sure. We outside of,
I hope so.
Outside of her gifts and her task that she put people on, I think we're kind of done with her arc.
Yeah. We'll get to revisit it with Matt a little bit at least.
Yeah.
I hope he opens the letter today.
I love her statement where she's like, I was sworn before your grandmother was born. I'm like, how old is Verin? She's got to be at least.
She's been around a minute.
Verin's old. Yeah.
She's an OG brown. She's as brown as they get.
How old she is? Let's see. Does it say how old she is here? Miscellaneous. Anyway, no, it just has quotes and stuff. I'll figure it out. But yeah, so after this, she starts going through, and telling a little bit of the story about how she got involved in Black Aja. We get a little bit of that in this. That originally she was forced to, like, it was either that or die, because being a brown, she wanted to research everything about it. She started finding things about it, and then she got caught. Like pretty much like
this part was obvious when Chris brought it up last week about her being the double agent, playing both sides, whatever. I was like, that would be a brown thing to do in Verin's the brown of the brown. Like
Yeah,
just out of
she's very
curiosity, like, oh, what the hell? Let me learn about it. Let me see what this is.
Mhm.
So this once she kind of unveiled it, I was like, all right, that
All this
totally makes sense. What
Yeah.
I think is, remember, she said Thomas was a dark friend long before her. I think
may
Thomas
have.
came to her trying to find a way out of it, and she was trying to help him, and that's how she got caught up into it. And then they just wrote it out together.
I like that theory, so we'll go with that because she did make that statement. So let's go with that. I
So-
like
Yeah.
her being a savior.
Verin's over 200 years old.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. That
she
Yeah,
knows
so
a thing or two because she's seen a
Yeah.
thing or two.
the exact age I don't think is verified. Maybe in the companion, but not in the books itself. But she's believed to be over 200.
Gotcha. I mean,
Um,
I love the fact that Egwene right away tried to like snap into action and draw on the source, and she's like, "Shoot, I set myself up. I can't touch the source. I took the daggone fork route. Like, what was I thinking?" So then again, who would think that a black would be sitting in my room sipping tea? Like, this is just not a thing. So she learned a
And
lesson in this
and
moment.
she notices the tea smells funny right away. She's like, "Never smelled that kind of tea before." Yeah.
She's like, "I don't think I'm gonna make a glass." And Marin's like, "No, you don't want a glass of this."
Yeah.
Have
I
a
like
seat.
how situationally aware she is. She's like, she real quick goes to her head and is like, all right, if I call for help, the only people nearby are novices. They're just coming here and get whacked also. Like,
Mhm.
I'm in this on my own. All right, just pull up a chair and talk to her. Let's see where this goes, you know?
Yeah.
So she's looking out for her people. And
Yeah.
it sucks that she drank the fork root, but she's pretty aware of what's going on and still trying to protect the folks around her.
Yep.
Agreed.
And the and then she also has found a loophole within the Dark One's oath. And she explains that to her, like, hey, there is a loophole. That you one of the things we have to swear is it will never betray the great Lord up into the hour of her death. Well,
Yeah.
she's like, so I have found a loophole, and she looks down at her cup, and she's just like, so yeah.
Well, it's Egwene. When she gets that look, Egwene goes, poison.
Poison.
Yeah, like she puts it together pretty quick.
Mhm.
So this is where Egwene they talk about it, and Egwene's rationale is good. Like, why on the earth would that loophole be there? Well, your average dark friend isn't the type. I mean, they're generally joining for selfish reasons. They're not the type to intentionally take their life for a reason like that.
Mhm.
But it's still a loophole. All right. So Verin also makes the point. This stood out to me. When she's rambling, she's like, yeah, there's gonna be this battle or whatever, but it is not gonna play out the way Rand thinks it is.
And then she even goes even further into detail. She's like, the Forsaken are obvious compared to the Lord.
Predictable. Yep.
Yeah,
He's wild.
Selfish makes them predictable, and selfish is something that he looks for in his chosen.
Yep. And she's been studying him for a long time and cannot figure out what the game plan is. So then I go back to why this loophole is what Verin's passing on. I'm not saying Verin is intentionally trying to betray the tower or Egwene. I think she is trying to do the right thing. But is she being used? Is like the Dark Lord, is he like 5 chess moves ahead of her? Is he using her? Does he want this information to come out? Like, I don't know. It's a stretch, but
one where I don't think, because Verin would have been smart enough to be there and be used, but also kind of be in the background.
Yeah, I want to give her that credit.
So I don't think she's being played. And plus, where we're at in the book, we kind of need this to start bringing things to a close. Yeah.
If this turns into a big weapon for Egwene and for the air quote good guys, then this is one of those giant. This is like building the Death Star and then having this one thing that can destroy you. That you drop a couple of bombs down this one air vent or whatever, and you explode the whole thing. Like fatal flaw, essentially. Like that did not need to be designed that way. I don't know. We'll see.
And then this is when she gives the books.
Yes.
Yeah, so she gets 2 books. One's a cipher. The other one which means nothing without the other one. But
She's like, these are my tomes. Every Brown looks to leave something in this world that will change the future. Everybody thinks that we're studying the past, but we're really looking to impact the future, which I thought that was pretty cool. And she's like, this is my life's work. This is, the way to take him down. This will give you insight at least. And it will give you clarity.
Yeah, because remember when Egwene's trying to figure this out, she's like, what? So like, you're confessing to me for like some last minute redemption? And Verin's like, oh, no, child. There's no way I'm getting redemption. But, and then they get into books and everything. She's like, at least maybe with this, I could do some good,
Right.
DK, I like that. DK says Jordan wrote one book and Sando wrote the other. Who wrote the big one? Who wrote the small one? I wonder.
Yeah. Jordan wrote one.
Yeah. Jordan wrote the big one.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then she teaches about the ter'angreal that you can wrap around the book and makes it go invisible. You can still feel the book, but the book disappears. So only works on books, so can't use it on something else. But yeah, obviously someone from the Age of Legends made this for the purpose of keeping a journal secret or something. So
yeah.
Yep. But shortly after,
little bag of secrets.
Yeah. Little bag of secrets.
And then she goes,
Nice
she's like, Masana's in the tower. I tried to figure out who she was, but the 2 times I met with her, she was shrouded in darkness. But I know it's her, and I know she's here. So just be on your guard. And she's like, and also let the Browns know that my soul was always a Brown. Even though the black may tarnish my name, I was always a Brown at heart. And Egwene's like, no, you're not brown. Your soul is not brown. Your soul is white.
Yo, tell me why I was bawling right there. Bawling. Driving into the gate at work. This is the 3rd time now. I called Alan afterwards. I was like, you motherfucker. These guys at the gate think I am emotionally unstable. Like, even if I try to explain this one. Why are you crying? Because my girl told the other girl, you ain't brown, you white, and I can see it. And they'll be like, this racist motherfucker. Trying to tell her on her deathbed to deny her brownness. I had to remember to turn the volume down. I'm like, oh gosh, that's gonna take too much explaining. They're not gonna
understand what's going on here. It's like what's the meme I saw the other day where it was like all the Power Rangers like red power, green power, blue power, and they got to the white Power Ranger goes hi.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Yeah. I forget what teacher it was in high school, but I was acting a fool and I had the class all riled up and they were hollering at me about something. Anyways, at some point it comes out of my mouth that black is a feeling, not a color. And the classroom lost their shit. And the teacher was like, straight to the principal's office. I want you to tell him that. I was like, oh no. Meanwhile, the people in my class that raised me, they were like, that's right. We claim him. Yeah. But you got to know your crowd.
You got to be careful with that. Yeah. Walk through the hood. All you get is deuces, man. It's
yeah.
The school. Yeah. It was, yeah, definitely. Anyways, context is everything. Correct, DK.
Yes.
So let's see. Then Verin dies.
Yes.
Very
yeah.
Therese comes in to check on Egwene. So Egwene makes her think that Verin's just asleep after a long journey. And she leaves, and Egwene starts going through the book. And inside the book, there's a bunch of descriptions, but also in the back, there's an entire list of every named Dark Friend or Black Aja that she knows of. And there are over 200 names on this list, including 5 sitters, 2 sitters in the rebel camp alone, and 3 in the tower.
In all the Ajas.
in all the Ashes.
Remember early on, we were like, it's going to be the
Oh,
Reds. It's everybody.
Well, and the vast majority was in there. I mean, the Reds made up like 50% of the number.
Well, there's a big chunk in the Reds, but it's everyone. And they're still trickling in within the novices and everything, so they're still coming.
Yeah. And that's a change too, because the Black.
We learned too that they weren't recruiting from the novices either. They recruited only
at first.
Yeah. At first.
There's a side note saying, explaining the why, but she didn't get the chance to get to that.
Yeah.
But the names hurt a little bit, but I was happy to hear her say that none of her friends were on the list. None of her spies were on the list.
None of the people that are searching for Black Aja within the tower on the list.
Hunting's on the list. Elida was not on the list. I don't know if it's a win or not.
Yeah, Allens are everywhere.
Alan's gonna be Alien.
Our shadow pals, they're everywhere.
But then we found one name that we knew was going to be on the list, but she didn't know it was going to be on the list.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also the Keeper of the Chronicles is on the list, which of course we knew that already. We knew a couple of these names already.
Yeah,
but there's still a lot. There's a lot of the list.
Yeah, she was surprised by a lot, and there was a lot she didn't even recognize the names.
Yeah. So Alvier and the Keeper of the Chronicles for Elida. She's on the list. Katarine, which we already knew Katarine was from a while back, but yeah. So anyway, Nicola comes in with some food, earning a scowl from Teresa. She's
like, well, the novice of the kitchen sent me to give this to Verin Sedai, because we've heard how tired she was.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. And Egwene gets the soup and finds a vial with a word in it, just saying "wait." Yep. And then Madani comes to visit and notices Verin right away.
Yeah.
And Egwene tells her, hey, tells her that she's poisoned by a dark friend, so doesn't lie.
No, she does an very Aes Sedai thing.
So she's poisoned by dark friend.
Part of the truth, and then the other part she kind of tells but doesn't tell. So
wait, Chris, did you get a chuckle out of Egwene in her thought process? She's like, yeah, okay, it's technically the truth. I'm not really lying. But then she also thinks, I can't wait to be able to take the oath rod because this almost lying is like killing her. But like literally, that's exactly what I said I do. How's the oath rod going to prevent her from doing what she's doing right now?
Lying was getting too easy.
Mm-hmm.
But she's not lying. She's still telling the truth. She's telling the truth like I said I tell the truth.
Yeah, but I think in her mind, using the oath rod will force her to become more creative with the lies and tell more of the truth than less.
I don't know. I've learned to distrust the Aes Sedai, and most people have. As we've read these books, the people that are aware of how Aes Sedai tell the truth, they know it's more powerful than a lie because it is the truth, so it is believable, but it's twisted enough, or there's enough omitted that it's manipulating you and leading you down the wrong path. I think their version of the truth is way worse than blatant lies.
Yeah,
I agree. Not saying I don't use it often, but I agree.
I mean, we're all human. We do it. We catch ourselves.
Yeah. And I love how Egwene is being very much the Amerlin. She's like to what is her name?
Madani,
whatever.
Danny, yeah.
She looks very much in control and kind of steeled, and inside she's like there's grief and confusion, and she's like, I'm gonna have to give a penance for this lying at some point. I'll figure that out when the time comes, but right now I have to act.
Right. And she also learns from her that Egwene learns that the hall censured Elida.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. And the only reason they didn't depose her was because Egwene was like, no, we need to do whatever we can to keep the Reds together.
Right.
And she was like, well, I wouldn't mind her being deposed, but I guess this is the next best thing, it's a good outcome.
Like, honestly, I need to make sure I'm the one that gets it done so that everybody can see me in the light I need to be seen in. So
I think better than that, Chris, you hinted at this a while ago, maybe that it would have gone the other way, but one of them, I won't say giving in to the other, but the other one kind of tapping the other one. So if Elida comes to the point and sees what's happening and goes, oh shit, no, she is the one, then it almost doesn't matter if anybody else agrees. That's that. And everybody's back together again.
Correct.
You know?
Yep.
And to be real, though, the only one that will be able and capable and willing to do that is Egwene.
Yeah.
Is a little too self-centered. And at this point, put her reputation way out there on the line. So she's not going to back down from it.
Right.
Yeah. Elida might become one of the best fighters for Egwene.
Maybe. Well, at this point, Egwene also tells her that Verin is black and that she should be tested with the Oath Rod, which they currently still have. And they've tested Nicola, which is why they're allowing her near Egwene. And
I love the thought process here. Hold on. There's questions like, are you certain? And it's like, well, I believe the integrity of Verin. Like, so, but it should still be put to the test. And every sister ought to be given this opportunity, no matter what the accusations.
Right.
So it's a trust but verify. Even as chaotic as it is and important as everything is right now, I think that's awesome for her to be thinking that way.
Well, yeah,
especially because they have a tool where they could kind of flush it out.
Yeah. Even after Verin killed herself, let herself go, it was like, let me put the plate underneath and make sure she's dead. Like, we see that Egwene is being very careful and she's making sure she's paying close attention. So there's, she's learned a lot and she's making a lot of really good decisions.
Yeah.
So
early on,
oath removed from Maidani.
Yeah.
This
early on when we started this, there were some folks that told us that Egwene was their favorite character, and she's had other fantastic parts of the series. But if more of this keeps happening towards the end, I definitely see why people pick her. She's she's fantastic.
She has a great arc.
Yeah.
As a character.
Yeah.
So after all this, they distract was it Tersa, whatever, or Tersi, and they travel to dispose the body, hide Verin's body. Just so there's less questions. Then Egwene goes to go sleep, take a nap. Because after all this,
you know how dumb I am? As she's telling her she needs to go dispose of Verin's body, I'm like, man, what a crap chore. Like, Verin's probably not super fit. I picture her as kind of like a plump Aes Sedai and like got to lug her around and everything. Then it gets to the part and it's like they open the gate and then they cast, some spirit and air and float her out. And I was like, oh yeah, fuck, Aes Sedai. Like, you don't have to lift anybody. It's like, this went from, oh my gosh, this is a horrible task to like, this is super easy. Why was she complaining?
I
made myself chuckle.
So then Egwene takes a nap. Goes to tell Ranriad.
Because she's late tired.
Well, more just because she wants to talk to Swan. But anyway, so, she's wondering what Shiriam's plotting. So she goes to talk to Swan and tells Swan that Moria and Shiriam are both Black Aja and they need to be watched. But as she's trying to tell Swan something, she feels herself being pulled out of the dream because it doesn't last long. Like almost immediately, she's being pulled out. And then it's Nicola there as she comes to saying that Tarmogoyf has begun. We're under attack. The tower's
in the audiobooks, they really played into the emotion of Nicola. Had her freaking out. And even with getting yanked out of the dream and somebody in her face freaking out, Egwene very quickly looks around, takes in the facts that are in front of her, and puts it together.
Yeah, she's like the Shanchan. No, it's not.
Yeah,
that's the Shanchan. Dun dun dun. So I wonder how fast that would happen. Well, it happens now.
And that pretty much wrapped up this chapter, right?
It did, yeah.
Yep.
So, any final thoughts or anything?
There's a little more significance, emphasis, the conversation with Swan, but it's really just putting another exclamation mark on how big a deal this is. in trying to call out the Black Aja, and how do you actually capture them? Can you remove the oaths? Can you whatever? Anyway, you got to be very delicate,
Because you
and
don't want the word getting out that they know either.
right.
So you
And it's a
almost have to-
serious accusation. And
Yeah.
Swan mentions that, and Egwene's like, no, I know. If I do this and I'm wrong, but that's my life I'm forfeiting.
It's like when you take down like big organized crime units, they have to do it all at once, because if they do it in pieces, the word gets out and people disappear, and you don't you can't cut it all out.
Right.
It has to be this massive full
Yeah.
force.
And how
going
much
in.
of a blow to Swan must that have been? Because Shiriam was the mistress of novices under her as Amerlin.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a big shock to
Swan, yeah.
Swan, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a little blip of interaction before Egwene got yanked out, but there's some key points there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go back to book 2, I believe it is, when the Grey Man comes and attacks Nynaeve inside the tower, it's Shiriam who shows up and says, "Oh, don't worry, the body, just go on." And then the body disappears. Shiriam that was there.
Mm-hmm.
We thought then that it was sketchy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's lots of
that was still during the period where we didn't trust anybody, but that was a little extra sketch.
But there's a lot of little hints if you go back, and I mean, obviously, there's a lot of Black Aja that's listed, as I think someone pointed out earlier in chat. DK Main pointed out there's a lot of names we don't recognize either. They just started listing off all these random names. It's like, Badlands, you are. This is the first time they've ever been mentioned, because there's so many Aes Sedai that get mentioned once in these books. So many named. But anyway, guys, ready for chapter 40? The Tower Shakes.
I'll be ready. I don't know if we'll ever be ready for this chapter.
Well,
such a good chapter.
It is. It is a very good chapter. All right. So we start with Swan. So let's start there. So Swan awakes frightened from Teleron. All right, Teleron. God, I can't talk tonight. And tells Gareth Bryn that she believes Egwene's in danger and we need to go rescue her from the tower right now. And Bryn's like, "What?" He's like, "No." Like,
Bryn wakes up and both swords are swinging.
Yeah.
She's like, "You sleep with your swords in hand?" He's like, "Every night."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then she's like, "Yeah, we gotta go say." She's like, "He's like, I'm put my pants on, hold my beer."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And someone else, one of the messengers or one of the scouts comes in to inform them that there's trouble in the city at the White Tower. But Bryn orders the guards to stand to and sets about finding a group or whatever. But Swan's pretty much deduced that they pretty much figure this out too. That's a Shantian attack. And Swan becomes more determined that she needs to rescue Egwene before she becomes demonic again. But Bryn's pretty adamant that Egwene doesn't want to be rescued. And Swan's like, "Yeah, but she might be dead or taken as a slave. So this is different."
Part.
Yeah. And Ian got dropped out. Sorry, I was on the other screen.
You're good. I didn't have anything to say at that point.
Gotcha. So
so the basic argument of, all right, we got to go save her versus Gareth Bryn's, you got to stick to your oath. Did you land on either side, Chris, or what are your thoughts?
So, all right, when it came to, first off, when you listen to the description of what's happening, so like there's bursts of lights almost as if illuminators were there, and there's things in the sky, and it's like, okay, they're clearly being attacked, and since they're being attacked, that means everybody's in danger. And she told Swan that Swan could rescue her if she ever thought she was in danger,
or risk of losing her life,
She
was willing to do everything kind of up into that point.
Yeah. And so I kind of was just like, as much as I think Swan needs to leave it alone, if I was in that situation, I would be going to save her as well, because we have no idea what's going on, but it's under attack. We know that much.
Yep.
And when you're under attack, the last person you think about is the person that's locked in the prison.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or somebody that really had a big grudge against her uses that opportunity to offer during the chaos.
Yeah, because that's what I would do.
My only devil's advocate, we'll see if this plays out. I'm giving this low percentage. I'm not really advocating for it. Is Swan makes the statement, oh, it's perfect. Under the cover of this attack, we could slip in. Everybody will be distracted. But what if the opposition, when this all clears out, points to Egwene and then Swan and her little army that's coming through and saying that they coordinated the attack? It's not that Egwene predicted it. She made it happen. And look, all that she tried to use it as a chance to bring in these soldiers and everything. So if Swan goes in there, gets caught, and then afterwards, like they stop Egwene or whatever and make more accusations, it's a bit of a stretch, but they could point at this and say, see, Egwene did this.
That's why with Gollum's your attack dog.
Again, I'm not betting on that. I'm not saying that's what it is, but that the door is open for that.
Yeah.
So you look at a light and be like, Gollum's yours. Like he brought this army. So,
but with Swan, and remember, Swan's now returning to the tower.
Oh, I know. And then
that's big. With Gareth Bryn and an army of 100 of his best guards.
Gareth Bryn is doing what he's being told by, what is his official title? The king, the commander of the Queen's Guard or whatever. I mean, we got to remember.
He was, yeah. Yeah, he was commander. Yeah.
He was.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows that he isn't anymore? I mean, we have a new queen now. And then we have her brother, who is the whatever his title is. So he's just bringing his men with
Hand
him.
of the Queen.
The first sword.
Yeah, the first sword. Yeah. So we got the first sword, and then we have a general underneath him is what we have.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
but if Elida has the opportunity to point and say, see, they did this, they brought this on.
Look like herself.
That's true.
Remember, she kind of went into reverse. So
yeah, people have not been recognizing her until she really is adamant about who she is.
And then if you acknowledge Swan, you've acknowledged some lies. Like as you said, Swan was dead. She was still. There's no way that they could have revived her and given her magic back. Well, this is a different looking Aes Sedai that uses her magical skills. Like, oh yeah, this is a story I would be flipping. Now, Egwene's not going to do that.
No.
But I would be.
So after this, we switch back to Egwene's point of view. She's in the tower, and Egwene, in the company of Nicola, they are at the window. Nicola, and they see the window. At the window, they see the
one
damage
important piece. Gareth Bryn is not with it at this point.
Yeah,
he is not with it. Okay,
no.
Now
yeah. So there's damage that's been done to the tower. The Sanshin are flying. They're mounted rocking and Tula rocking. And the attack seems to be a raid to capture Aes Sedai and enslave them.
Yeah.
In rage, Egwene's like, oh, hell no. We ain't going down without a fight. Here, follow me. We're going to go to the store.
Let them come.
No. First she goes, I'm not going down without a fight. And she whips out as much of the power she could pull. And it's a little... Click, 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 click. And Nicola goes, oh, we're fucked.
She's like, you can't even draw the power. I can sense it because that's her special ability, right?
Yeah. Right.
She's like, you can't hold any of the power. What are we going to do?
But Egwene has a quick idea. She gets the bulk of the novices to rally around her. And she's like, all right, I'm going to teach you guys real fast how to form circles. So let's form some circles because at that point she could use everybody else's
knew
power.
That was going to happen right away. The minute she started searching people out, I was like, oh, she's going to find a way to get her power.
Yeah.
And I know she's going to do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then once Egwene has a circle behind her, she goes and heads off the storerooms and locates what she's looking for, which is the fluted wand. It's a saw angreal. So, as you know, saw angreals are so powerful. They're like angreals, but super powerful. But yeah, this is one of those. So yeah. Any thoughts from this? Because we switched back to Swan's point of view after this for a little bit.
Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. I'm distracted.
Oh, okay.
I'm working. I shouldn't be. But, I have to sell my program. And people are texting.
Yeah. Ian, any thoughts for you?
No additional thoughts.
Okay.
I appreciate how she instantly thought about going to get the rod right away. Like, which rod is this? Have we really?
The fluted rod?
First time we saw the fluted rod.
I don't know if we've seen it anywhere else.
Or how does she know about it?
Well, no, if I remember correctly, she went to the storeroom and wasn't sure what she was going to find. There was some thought process of like, if she grabs the wrong one, they don't always know what all of them do. And then when she saw that, she knew what it was. And she was this is the one I need.
I clicked on it to do all the times we've seen it. So, shape of a white fluted rod about the length of a woman's forearm. Resembles bone and ivory.
It's a big rod.
It is first introduced in the Dragon Reborn, chapter 18. It is then used. It is used in the circle to heal Matt.
Oh, okay.
And then by Egwene in her circle to fight the Chanchan and the Gathering. Yeah, in this chapter. So
okay.
So it's been used once before to heal when Matt was healed.
And so she just knew then that she'd be able to get an obscene amount
of power.
The power from it. Okay. Yeah. I'll accept that.
Yeah. So then we switch back to Swan's point of view. Swan's followed closely by Bryn and arrives at Gawain's tent. Gawain, of course, is alarmed that Egwene is in peril. And it's like, yes, let's go rescue her. Rescue her. Woo! Yeah, but Bryn's a little annoyed about Swan's avoidance of her oath, And
this would be the second time in like 3 months that she just poo-pooed an oath.
Yeah.
And Bryn is all about his oaths. So, he doesn't want to sit here and be friends with or whatever you want to call it at this point in the story with somebody who doesn't take their oath seriously, even though she is taking her oath with him very seriously.
Sure.
So,
yeah. And they start to argue as Gawain goes to get the horses. It's Gawain. Swan manages to convince Bryn finally, basically because she won't be stopped. And decides to go help free Egwene at a price. Bryn demands 2 conditions. First, that Swan bonds him as a warder. Which Swan's actually like, ooh.
So
which she does almost immediately.
You took the words I don't like. I was just about to say she didn't even hesitate. She didn't listen.
She didn't think about it.
She didn't think about it. She was like, he asked me to do what? And it was like, boom, and it's done.
Then he's just like, holy crap, why don't we give this to all the soldiers?
Straight up euphoric moment. And all he could say is, my guys would be invincible with this.
Yeah.
And she's like, men, all they think about is how to make themselves stronger so they can stick their pointy end into people.
Yep.
So the sword, let it be.
Sheath the sword. But Bryn refuses to state his second demand until later.
Oh, it's gonna be marriage. Come on, we know this. I mean, instantly they started feeling all the feelings for each other back and forth in the bond. And she's like, it better not be anything naughty. And then he kind of starts grinning. She's like, oh shit, he knows I want it to be a little naughty.
That's the best. That was the best part of this chapter.
She's like, you better not spank me. And also he starts grinning. She's like, oh, he knows I want him to spank me.
That's perfect.
The best and the worst.
Gets a little embarrassment from both sides after that. They both get turned a little red because now they can feel each other's feelings, at least not thoughts, but feelings. So Bryn decides to bring a company of his best soldiers and accompany them. And then we switch to Eleonora's point of view.
At this point, she's like getting up. She's running. She's like, I can't believe it. The battle, Aja. Huh? Yeah. We were a joke. We didn't last 20 minutes against these people.
Yeah, being defeated by the Shanshan. And she goes running, encounters more Sunshine. Eventually, she feels herself get shielded and captured.
Yeah.
And
She avoided it once, and then she hit the corner and like got it again by somebody stronger.
Yep.
I wonder, had the Aes Sedai been together, would this have gone down this way? The Greens need support. Like, yes, they're the battle Aja, but the Reds are a battling Aja as well. And
Well, apparently they didn't think about linking because I don't know for sure, but it sounds like they were kind of in a group fighting, but fighting individually. I think if they'd have gone Egwene's route and been linking up, they just stood a much better chance.
If they linked, only one person gets to really control the power, so you'd have one person fighting.
But it's not 1 + 1 = 2. It's 1 + 1 = 10.
Yeah,
correct. And it's an exponential growth of power, but at the same time, they had to kind of attack at different angles and go at it. I mean, to your point, had they linked, that one strongest in the abilities probably would have been able to do what Egwene did, which is make, multiple spells or whatever you want to call it, or towards the enemies and really do some damage.
They still can't weave quite like Egwene, so there is that. I know I'm going back and forth, but yeah, they still have a lot to learn.
And then, I mean, ultimately they were being threatened. Their life was being threatened, but who knows how much the O's would have maybe stopped them in certain...
Or hesitation, at least initially. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is why I don't feel like Egwene needs to be touching the rod quite yet. Stay away for a little bit.
Just for a little bit.
And DK Moon puts out a good point too. Linking needs there needs to be trust, and there's not much trust in the tower these days.
Yeah.
So
that's true. Yeah.
So the minute that she showed up to those girls earlier in the chapter, they were all like, "It's the Amerlin," like not it's Egwene, like, "Oh, how did she get here?" It's the Amerlin. She's gonna save us. Yeah. And then when she created the whatchamacallit in the air, the one girl was like, "Are you leaving us?" She's like, "No." She's like, "Okay, good. I didn't think so." Like the trust happened so instant, and they were just ready.
She's got an army of novices.
Yeah,
that's stronger than the rest of the Aes Sedai in the tower.
Right, but before we get there, that's what she gets collared. She gets named a Damane Civi, and then suddenly Eleanor's collar pops off, and
no name gonna be Civi.
Yeah,
no.
But almost instantly, the collar pops off, and the Sul'dam erupts into flames. The other Damani try to wield shields, but pretty much the Sul'dams are all being dispatched by fire and lightning everywhere, just being
and then they're all being incinerated.
Yes, and the sergeant and soldiers run at this point because
they're like, "Oh my God, run!
Run away! Run away!"
All the way ham. She was like, "I will not let you guys live. This is the end of you." Like all of her rage and all of her anger, and then her determination.
And then she starts throwing fireballs at Rocket and like shooting them out of the sky. And she's like, "I am," and then shot her. You can call me Tim. Tim.
And of course they're like, "But what if there are captives on those Rocket?" And she's like, "Better they be dead."
Yeah.
Which, I hate to say it, but I agree. We are at the end of the world, so like, we don't need them being used as weapons against us.
I think she's spot on. I missed a line that I think happened a little bit before this, when the novices are first talking to Egwene and they're freaking out and everything. And Egwene says, like, with determination, like, "I'm not going to let them take you. You are mine."
Yes.
Like, I wish I had the book out to read that line exactly, but man, that was another one that hit me in the feels.
Yep.
Yeah.
Be not afraid, for I am with you. Very much.
So Egwene sends the novices to go capture the cowering freed Damane that aren't fighting now at this point. They're just scared. Helps Eleanor to her feet, kills some Rockin.
She teaches them how to release the collars.
Right. Yep. So they start
and then
doing
she
that.
even shows her some traveling, I think. So
Yep.
she's like, "You are the Amelin." She's like, bitch, I've been trying to tell y'all this.
And Eleanor.
Well, good thing. Yeah, good thing there's an Aes Sedai here now to take charge and do some command and control.
She's like, you will call me mother. I am in charge of this. Yes, mother.
Yeah.
Until this threat is over, I'm in charge. Period.
Yeah. You did a good job making it out. Oh, thank you, mother. Why do I feel so good about this?
And then Egwene weaves a gateway to take Eleanor back to the storerooms to get more Angreal. And then Eleanor, this is when she realized that Egwene could have run at any time.
She's like, flee? Never. I'm the Amberlin. What are you talking about?
I'm not going to run.
Yeah.
This is my tower.
And I wouldn't be running from you. I would have been abandoning you. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
That man. God, she's so good in this chapter. Like everything she says and does is like, yes.
Yeah.
I think this is why Egwene is many people's favorite. Like at the beginning, first couple books, we hated on her. And then slowly she has built herself up in our eyes. So it just took a long time for us to get here, folks, but we're finally here.
Yeah. All right. And that's how we end this chapter. Pretty much.
Yeah, I am Amelie. Like this. These chapters were like powerful statements for Egwene.
Yes.
They were powerful statements for Swan. Like they showed true loyalty. There were even moments where she was legitimately like, how did he leave? There are a few moments where she legitimately like bowed down figuratively to Egwene. So I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Hitting too many buttons and kicked myself out.
I've done that a couple times. I can't judge.
Click. Oh, nope. Oops. Yeah. So also, Egwene's amazing in these chapters. Definitely.
Do we know for certain that Elida was spreading info on traveling and gateways, or was that just rumor? I thought when we talked about it before, it was rumor.
Yeah, I think this is more rumor.
I think, well, yes, it was rumor, but the way she said it was like she kind of definitively figured that she was spreading it. So now we have to assume the Shan Chan know how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know for certain, but
we don't know.
Assumed.
Yeah. So any final thoughts?
These were great chapters. If the last few chapters are anywhere near as good as these chapters, when I tell you, like, so for those that do not know, for the first time in a while, I listened to these like right away because Ian was like, "Oh my God, Chris, have you listened yet?" I'm like, 7 o'clock the next morning. No, I haven't even thought about listening. He's like, the first 20 minutes. He's like, I'm at the gate crying. I'm like, oh, you're at work crying in front of other grown men. I should probably read right now or listen right now.
In the feels.
Yeah. And when I tell you, so I'm sitting here driving down the street and I'm like, I have to re-listen to this because I just don't believe it. And I actually want to make sure my notes look good for this one. So yeah. It was a good chapter.
It was good.
My dumb butt is going to listen again first thing tomorrow and then be like, shit, I got to wait a week. I'm at that point now. I'm chomping at the bit.
Before I announce what we're doing next week, favorite character.
All right, don't take the easier route. Neither one of us could take the easier route.
Okay, well, Egwene gets the obvious.
Yeah, so we're not.
I think Egwene should get the obvious.
Verin gets an obvious, really? Like,
yeah, no, but yeah. They're two very obvious people.
Bryn gets an obvious. I mean, there's so many.
Bryn does not get an obvious for me. Like, Bryn did his job as a soldier.
Yeah.
And then, for the first time, he did put his heart before his soldiering that we know of. He put his heart before soldiering.
Yeah.
So, because we know his second condition is going to be marriage. Either that or she washes his stank underwear. One of the two. Just continues to wash. He's like,
no jobs on my birthday.
I'm gonna cuff them buns.
I kind of want to give it to every single character. Oh, how about I give a shout out to the Dark Lord?
There you go.
Because Verin's been studying him as close as anyone possibly can, and she's clueless because what the heck he's doing.
For hundreds of years. Mind you, he's been around for tens of thousands of years.
And if Verin ain't figured it out.
The beginning of time.
Or how about the slippery Forsaken that's in the tower that Verin couldn't identify? They get credit.
Yeah, very true. I think I'm gonna. Oh man, Verin was a great one. Like we had too many really good ones. Trying to find like a semi good one. I'm gonna give it to our green sitter.
Which one?
The one that Egwene saves?
The one that Egwene saves.
Oh, I don't know.
For admitting her weakness, realizing her flaws, and then instantly thinking, when this shit is over with, we're going to have to talk about some things. Like very good leadership skills. And allowing herself to be led in a moment where she realized she was the weaker leader. So
set aside the Aes Sedai politicking and normal order that you follow.
Technically, follow the actual order she'd have to follow Egwene because Egwene's stronger in the power. But here, respect came into play.
Yeah, so. I like that.
Yeah.
Unless you make me, I'm not going to pick just one. I'm going to say everybody.
All of them. It was all of them.
It was so good. Including Tall Mayonnaise and Tom and Matt, everybody.
He said Tall Mayonnaise.
I hate how he does this. Like, it's always the last 6 chapters that are so good that you just like...
But now we're getting a mixture of Jordan's notes and a Sander Lanch, which is great. We get
It'd be nice if you could take the last 5 chapters of all the books and just like sandwich them together because they're all the best chapters.
So we are going to do 2 chapters next week. I think. Let me just make sure that's right. Yep, 2 chapters. So
the end of the book.
A font of power. A fount of power.
I see.
Gramps Gaming makes a good point. How did we skip over this? That's how you know these chapters were amazing and we skipped over.
Yeah, didn't even
the horse that Swan rode in on.
I started to mention her, but then we I think one of y'all bleeped out and then I got sidetracked. Yep. But yes, we have the best character.
Oh, okay.
I was waiting for it, guys. I had the button ready to go the entire episode.
Normally, when she shows up, that is the highlight of the chapters. But there was just so much going on.
Yeah, for the first time. And how many years have we been doing this? 4 years? 5 years? 4 years?
Yeah.
Bella was not the focus of the chapter for us.
Yeah.
But also she was. What do you think about it?
Yeah. I mean, without her, we're not getting Swan there in time to then
exactly.
Yep. Yeah, because no other horse is could be the one.
Oh yeah. Bella might
always on time.
Bella might be the Dark Lord.
Shut your whore mouth.
This whole time we thought Bella was amazing. Bella was plotting along.
Bella is the creator. Bella is the creator. It's confirmed. So a font of power, that's chapter 41. And then chapter 42 that we're doing is before the stone, or is it before the stone of Tyr?
Ooh, like before the stone of Tyr, or before the stone of Tyr. Like, are we standing before
At
the stone of tear? Are we at the stone of tear? Or is it what happened before the stone of tear?
I don't know. Huh? What, Rafa?
Yeah. I mean, we do know Rand's going back.
Yeah.
What did he do with Kalendor? Didn't he give that to somebody to hold on to? No, he had it brought back to him. What is
He did, but then he got rid of it because of what Catstone said.
Yeah.
But he still has it, but it's not. Yeah. Yep.
He should put it back where he found it.
Yep.
Anyway, I think it's going to become very vital when they finally leash him, because we know he's getting leashed, right? Like, this is going to happen.
Yeah, I think enough people are on board with leashing him at this point.
Yeah.
To maybe include me. I don't know, man. Oh, I feel bad saying it, but it might be the way to go.
Is do they leash him because he goes crazy? Does he agree to being leashed? Or is this a
I hope he agrees to it
many times?
I hope it's consensual, or else it's not cool but necessary, and then that's a horrible place to be morally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We shall see. All right.
Yeah.
So
All right.
DK kind of said it before. So a fount of power is that might be related to Eggy here. You know, because eggs are like packed with nutrients and vitamins and protein. So, you know, you can never get enough Eggy. Anyway.
Fun times. Yeah, that's what we're doing next week. So how can we found is at thewheelreads.com. It's a pretty cool website. Find links to all sorts of cool things. And don't forget to like, subscribe, all that cool stuff.
I got us a subscriber while I was in therapy today.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Keep it up. Keep up the
bumping up those numbers.
Yeah. Yeah. I told you that, like, actually, did I tell you, like, I met some people at our church that had Wheel of Time tattoos?
No.
Oh, yeah. It was kind of crazy because I saw them. Both the husband and wife had matching tattoos, and I saw it from across like the room. And I was looking at it, and I was like, "That looks like the Wheel of Time symbol." And like, cause it had like the snake and like the 7-spoke wheel, and then in one of the snake parts, one side had the dragon's fang, the other side had the flame of Tarvalin, like on each side, and then like it was designed a really cool way in the tattoo. And as I got closer, I was like, Wheel of Time. I was like, they're like, and they listen to our show actually. They have before. They're not like avid listeners, but like,
yeah.
I would have talked to her, and I was like, and I mentioned that I ran a podcast. Like, oh, I recognize your voice. I was like, thanks. So fun times.
Yeah, that happens with me and Ian.
So are you changing churches?
Nah. Nah.
I'd probably have to. You're safe, Alan, but I'd probably have to change.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. Anyway, fly. Sorry. So anyway, sorry for the spoiler. I forgot that was the name of a chapter. DK movie. Anyway, do all the good stuff. That's all I got for this week, guys. So
until next time.
Peace.
Okay, bye. Thank you for watching The Wheel Reads.
Until next time.
Okay, bye.
Get your Coast Guard certified life-saving device ready and strapped on.
Oh, where are we going tonight?
What kind of strap on you talking about?
Traveling.